always drink so much of this before I start filming because if I drank less of it, then I could drink more of it during filming. Right? Oh, hi friends. Welcome to my Not a Sewing video. I'm your friend Emily, of course, and I was just talking to myself about why I drink so much of the tea before I start filming instead of waiting so I can sip it throughout filming. But it's probably just because it's so darn good. I've got a honey bush tea in here today that is basically dregs now because it was so good. And it is in my new favorite Catherine D. Medici Time Travel Society mug because, you know, it's awesome. And Andrea, I think about you every time I drink out of this. I want you to know I feel so special. Thank you, my friend. So, where am I going to put this down? I didn't think about that ahead of time. Move. Okay. I moved some stuff to put my teacup down. I'm a little fancy today. There's not really an excuse for it. I woke up today not feeling very well about things and decided I needed a pink day. Pink makes me happy. Flowers make me happy. Butterflies make me happy. Being a cheerful, happy, pink flowered butterfly person makes me happy. So, ta-da, here we go. I was also supposed to meet up with a friend to go to, well, not exactly lunch, but kind of like, not exactly brunch. Meet up with a friend to girl gab and possibly grab some foodage. But that didn't happen because their schedule changed, and that kind of put a damper on my day. So that didn't happen. So I have been at home looking absolutely adorable this entire day, and now you get to see me. So there's a small benefit because otherwise I probably wouldn't have gotten super dressed up for this video because of homework. Yep, adult student, it sucks. Yeah. So today's video, I wanted to talk about a couple of things. First thing I wanted to ask was, do you think that this green matches this green? Can you see that? I mean, it's very transparent, but do you think it's kind of a same match for the green that's right there? I've been trying to match up this kind of peachy fabric forever, and there's just no way. It's not going to happen. But I think I found a match for the green. This was going to be a seaside bustle dress, but I'm also kind of feeling one of those super airy mid to late 18th century outfits, you know. So if you have an opinion, let me know. Seaside airy bustle or airy fluffy flowy 18th century outfit. So yeah, trying to match the pink is a nightmare. I don't know if you've ever tried to match colors, if you've ordered swatches. It can just be an ongoing, never-ending, not gonna happen fest. But then, as I was trolling about, I found Is that the term? Trolling? I don't think that's the right term. Onlining about? No. Googling about? Ooh. My Google foo is strong. No. Okay. No, not going there. I don't know what the right term is, but as I was perusing about online, trying to find yet again pink fabric to match that, I came across that green and my brain went, I know you'd rather match the pink, but that green looks like a really good match. And sometimes you have to compromise your vision for what will actually work. Isn't that just a life lesson? Let me say it again, guys, because this is some wisdom coming at you all from me. Sometimes you have to compromise your vision for what's going to actually work. Doesn't mean that you have to compromise the entire vision or throw the whole thing out the door. Or, no. But it does mean that sometimes you gotta change things. You may not love it 1,000% like you did before, but maybe you could love it like 999 or 98 or 23%. I don't know. So the vision's going to change, I think, but I think it will still be nice and pretty and work. And that's what's most important. It will work. It will become something instead of just being fabric that sits around waiting for a partner fabric to magically show up. Something else I want to talk about, and this is kind of the big thing I want to talk about, is my content. Now, I follow a lot of creators, a lot of amazing, wonderful creators, skilled creators, hilarious creators. Some creators painstakingly hand sew things that take, may take all month of following them, and it's just this beautiful journey you're going on. Some creators might hot glue bubble wrap together and make a dress. Bet you know who I'm talking about. In one video. My problem when I look at my own content versus a lot of the creators I follow and a lot of the costuming creators that I consider friends is they'll say, okay, what am I gonna make for my next video? What is my next project for my next video gonna be? And so they come up with, a project and fabric and everything, and they make it, and then they go take pictures or whatever, and then that costume, I don't know, hangs up in their closet for ever, never to be seen or heard from again, or used again, or if it is, it's, couple months or a year down the line when they're like, remember when I made this? Or, hey, this costume totally applied to this month's theme for this. Or, but they didn't actually make that outfit for anything other than to have content for their video. Now, that makes sense to a lot of content creators, but that does not make sense to me. Because I am not a person who is going to put a bunch of time and effort and money and things and stuff and sanity into something just to be like, click, click. Look, it's so pretty. I made this. You got to see me make it. Or you get to see me in it, and that's it. And we're done now. That's not me. I am, hey, I put all the effort into this. I made this. I want to put it on my body and go frolicking out there with preferably with a bunch of like-minded friends who are also putting similar on their body and frolicking out there with me to have fun and to be joyous and to frolic in our new fancy frocks. And yeah, maybe we'll take some pictures and videos, but the fun part, the reason why I made this is the frolicking with the friends. That is what drives me. Dressing up, getting to wear it out somewhere, doing something, being with friends who are also dressing up and doing it with me. Now, I struggle with having costuming friends who are available to do those things, really, because priorities are all different. My priorities are different than some of my other costuming friends' priorities. And so it's really hard to find friends who just want to dress up and run amok with me. And, you know, that's like the driving force. And I'm starting to learn that my priorities for a lot of things are very different than other people's. My vacationing priorities and my costuming priorities and quite possibly even my friendship priorities are different than other people's. And that may just be me. That might just be me. I mean, it probably is just me. That's my problem. You know, you can't change other people. You can only change yourself. Except that I don't want to change. I want to make things for a purpose. The purpose being dressing up in them with other people. Dressing up in them and running amok. Dressing up with them and frolicking to and fro. I want to dress up and go to tea. I want to dress up and have picnics. I want to dress up and dance. I want to dress up and visit seaside Victorian ports. I mean, there's so much history where I live here in the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you can travel up and down the coast and find amazing historical spots. I want to go find them all. I want to dress up and I want to run amok in all of them. It's always been a hardship trying to find people to do dressing up and running amok with. Back when I lived in Utah, it was exceptionally hard. I would get so jealous when I would see these groups that I follow and these costumers that I follow on Instagram and Facebook talk about, you know, how they have this society and that guild and whatnot. And they post pictures of these events and there's tons of people at them and everybody is dressed up to the nines in the theme and doing wacky fun stuff and running amok. And it was so cute and so fun. And I was like, oh, I'm so jealous. I want to go to all of the things everywhere with everyone. In Utah, at least several years back, there wasn't really any of those options. There was a underutilized Regency group, and then the dance group, the English country dancing group that I was a part of with my handsome hubby. And what was nice about them is they would do themed dances. So there would be like the Dickens ball, you know, so you would be dressing up. People tended to dress anywhere from like the 1830s through the 1850s. And then they'd have like a Regency ball. They have the annual Regency Romance Ball, which they have in a gorgeous ballroom at one of the fanciest hotels in the city. And they, you know, they have catered dinner and they have live musicians and they have people performing little songs and whatnot between some of the dances, and just they make it a whole lovely experience that's just amazing. If you're looking for something to do in February around Valentine's Day, go to the Regency Romance Ball in Salt Lake City, Utah. that is hosted by the Old Glory Vintage Dancers. Anyway, they did the Cannonball, which is pirate themed. They do in July. They teach outdoor dancing at the Colonial Festival. So they'd have themed things, but other than this dance group, there were no like historical societies getting people together to like do stuff or to visit any of the historical sites or to do any outings or anything. So I finally decided one day, well, I'm just going to start my own. And I started the Visions of History Guild. Guild, society, it changed depending on the day. And we had an annual Regency picnic. We did an Edwardian walk through the tulips. I'm trying to think what else we did. We did a Georgian outing. We did an outing to this castle that's in Provo, Utah. We'd often do themed teas where we go to tea at the Grand America Hotel. It was so fun. And I had a lot of the ladies tell me that they loved that someone decided, hey, I'm going to plan this stuff and invite everyone and say, hey, come. And it wasn't always great. I remember one tea in particular when there was like 11 people planned and 2 people other than me showed up. So there were 3 of us. And like a bunch of people canceled the day before. One person canceled the day of, and 2 people didn't even show up. And I felt so bad. And I remember showing up to the hotel and being so apologetic to them. And they were so sweet. They knew me. I loved being known. I loved that they knew me. And they were like, oh, it's just fine. We'll just make it work. We'll just separate these tables out. We always get walk-ins. It's fine. I mean, they were so sweet. When these reservations, I mean, people months out these reservations. So, and me and Victoria and Rachel had an amazing time. All Edwardianed up. And Rachel, my friend from Utah, I also have a Rachel who's a friend from Washington. Both are photographers. Had brought her photography stuff and took these amazing photos of us in the lounge. And it turned out to be an amazing experience, which shows you that all you really need is one friend who's willing to dress up with you and you can have the time of your life. So finding a friend to, hey, make this outfit in this time period with me so that we can go frolic in the woods or frolic by the seaside or go visit this historical event should be pretty easy, right? It's not. It's not that easy. I think I'm going to try harder. I think that's the secret, because I have costuming friends, but they have their own way of doing things. They have their own agendas. They have very busy schedules and whatnot. I have a very busy schedule too, but my mental health definitely rides on getting to run amok in historical costume, which sounds ridiculous, but there it is. It often confounds my mother. I don't know if you have a mother like mine, but my mother doesn't really understand my hobbies. In fact, I'll often tell her, oh, I'm so behind on my sewing because I've got all of this homework, and she gets so confused. Why are you worrying about your sewing? Why don't you just put your sewing aside until your semester ends or school ends or what? Why does that even matter? And my dog's throwing up. I'm gonna pause. So, I don't think I've ever paused a video before. Um, that was kind of crazy. My dog George just threw up like 3 feet away from me on the floor. I don't know if he was trying to get my attention, if he ate something he wasn't supposed to, that he found that his father dropped on the ground. Highly possible. Or I know his teeth has been hurting him. So it might be a teeth thing. I never know. I feel like one of those parents that's like, why can't my tiny little toddler talk to me and just tell me what's wrong? So I was yabbering on about wanting to dress up with friends and friends not having time to dress up with me and yada, yada, yada. So, I think it might be time to pull what I pulled in Utah up here and try to find some like-minded friends who are interested in making outfits specifically to dress up and hang out together in them, and to run amok in. I think that is probably my best bet. Now, I'll tell you, and this is sad. This makes me sound like the sad girl in high school who invited everyone to her party and no one showed up. But every now and then I find like just a wonderful, adorable, historical costumer, cosplayer person out here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle area, or thereabouts. And I get really excited. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you are fun and you are amazing and you look totally like you would run amok with me. And so I'll like comment on one of their things and be like, hey, if you ever need a partner in crime, if you ever want someone to dress up and run amok with you, hey, I really want to go to tea. Would you be interested in dressing up and going to tea with me? Like I just put myself out there. I've put myself out there a bunch of times and yeah, get nada back. They usually don't even respond, or I'll get like a heart emoji or a smiley face emoji or something and I'm like, it's okay. You're probably super busy. You probably have a million friends of your own who want to hang out with you. And, you know, those thousands of followers that you have, I'm sure you can ask them to come run amok with you in the woods. You don't need me. I really want to run amok, guys. I'm having running amok withdrawals. And the harder and more like, and more just like soul crushing the semester gets for me, the more I want to run amok. And yeah, I have to make time for my homework and to get work done and whatnot, but I want to make time for this. And I need to. What are you making time for, my friends? What's important to you? Are you run-amuckers like me? Are you content creators? If you are, tell me about that, because honestly, like I get making stuff because you want to show it to people, I guess, but I don't understand. But I also don't understand it because you're making stuff, you're putting all of this time, effort, like expensive fabrics, nice supplies. You're putting all of this into stuff that like you're just putting away, you know, that you're taking some pictures of and then you're done and you just bounce on to the next thing. And, you know, I for example, I have this beautiful early Edwardian outfit I love to make. It's the one that's cream colored with embroidered flowers and butterflies on it that I wear with my ginormous Edwardian pink hat. And I've worn it a bunch of times. So I have all sorts of pictures of me in it. And I know that there are a lot of costumers out there that would be like, oh my gosh, I would never wear something that many times because you have a bunch of pictures that all look the same. And I'm like, but I love it and it's beautiful. And why wouldn't I want a million pictures in it? Because it's amazing and beautiful and I feel amazing and beautiful in it. I don't know. I think maybe something I'm just not getting it, people. Anyway, thanks for listening to my yammering on for yet another week. I hope you're working on some amazing projects. My projects, as always, are in the works. I didn't even mention my projects because same ones are still in the works, but maybe next week I'll have an update. And if you follow my Instagram, you'll know that I've been waxing poetical about my Ren Fair past as Queen Elizabeth I this week. Really missing a lot of those friends that used to run amok with me at Ren Fair. Oh my goodness, the fun we had. Ren Fair season is coming up in another month or so, and it might be time to run amok there as well. I don't know. What do you think?